Welcome back to the Time Capsule Podcast, where your family history becomes your greatest legacy. I'm your host, Barbara Beauregard, and today's episode is going to take us in a direction that many genealogists never expect, inward, because today we're talking about you, not your grandparents, not your ancestors, not the relatives you've spent years researching. We're talking about your story, and I want to start with a simple but very real question. If someone 50 or 100 years from now tried to learn about you, what would they actually find? As genealogists, we spend so much time looking backward, digging into other people's lives, hunting for records, building timelines, and preserving stories. But here's the interesting thing. Most of us know more about a great-grandparent we've never met than our own grandchildren will ever know about us unless we take steps to record it. We can list the dates of our ancestors' births and marriages. We know where they lived. We've studied their handwriting on census forms or draft cards. We often know their stories more intimately than we know our own. But if someone tried to build a profile of you with the same level of detail, would they be able to? For most people, the honest answer is not really. And there are so many reasons why. Sometimes we're too busy. Sometimes we feel self-conscious. Sometimes we don't know where to start. And sometimes we wonder if our lives are even interesting enough. It's surprisingly easy to dismiss our own story as ordinary. But here's the truth. Ordinary is exactly what future generations want to know. They want to know what your mornings looked like, what your first job was, why you chose your partner, what made you laugh, what broke your heart, what you learned the hard way, and what you hope future generations will remember. These aren't small details. They're the heartbeat of a family story. And without them, your family history has a missing piece. Let's talk about this idea that your life needs to be dramatic to be worth recording. It doesn't. The stories people treasure most often sound simple. How I met your grandfather over a broken coffee machine at work. The day I decided to move states, even though I was terrified. The moment I realized I wanted to change careers. The friend who helped me through a hard time. The one lesson that shaped how I raised my children. These moments may seem ordinary to you, but to the people who come after you, they will be priceless. Because they show you as a human being, not just a name on a family tree. So, if you feel overwhelmed or don't know where to begin, here's the good news. You don't have to write your entire life story all at once. You can start with one moment. Choose a memory that shaped you, the day you moved to a new place, the birth of a child, a loss that changed you, a difficult decision, a turning point that redirected your life. Write just one paragraph. Where were you? What was happening? What were you thinking and feeling? Why does that moment stay with you? That's it. One moment at a time becomes a chapter, and chapters become a legacy. Some people love to write, others don't. If writing feels like a struggle, here's another option. Just talk. Open the voice memo app on your phone and speak for 30 seconds about a single memory. It doesn't need to be polished. It doesn't need to sound professional. You can transcribe it later or not. The important thing is that your voice and your perspective are captured. Future generations will treasure the sound of your voice more than you can imagine. If you want help getting started, here are a few prompts you can use. One thing I am proud of is, something I wish I had known earlier is, a time I felt brave was when, a moment that changed me was, advice I want future generations to remember is, you can choose any one of these and answer it in a few sentences. That's enough to begin leaving a legacy. Let me tell you why this matters so much. Somewhere in your family, 50 or 100 years from now, someone will be searching for you. They'll wonder what you were like, what you loved, what you believed, what you struggled with, what made you uniquely you. And without your words, your voice, or your memories, they will only have pictures and dates. But when you record your story, even a little, you give them something rare and deeply personal, a connection, a sense of identity, a feeling of continuity. You become a real person, not a question mark. So, here's your action step for today. Choose one prompt or one meaningful moment and record it, in writing or in your voice. Don't worry about grammar. Don't worry about structure. Don't worry about getting it right. This isn't an essay, it's a gift. By telling your own story, you aren't taking attention away from your ancestors. You're completing the picture. You're adding a chapter that absolutely belongs in your family's time capsule. Your life is part of your family's history. It deserves to be remembered, and it deserves to be preserved. Thank you for listening to the Time Capsule podcast. For free guides, mini webinars, and legacy tools, visit ancestryseeking.com. Your legacy begins today.